While the previous administration allowed our southern border to become a superhighway for drugs, human trafficking, and terrorism, President Trump is taking decisive action that's already saving American lives. And the numbers don't lie. Since Trump took office, the U.S. Coast Guard has interdicted an astonishing 60,000 pounds of, well, that stuff, and other deadly substances. Secretary Kristi Noem confirmed this today, acknowledging the Coast Guard's critical role in fighting the crisis. But it's not just about drug interdiction. Trump's comprehensive border security strategy is targeting the cartels at every single level, from their financing to their operations. Quote, President Trump's strategy is working. That's from Rapid Response 47. The cartels are feeling the heat, but there's much more left to do. The work includes addressing the national security catastrophe left behind by the previous administration. And if you're suffering from pain in this fentanyl crisis era, please listen carefully. Just as President Trump is fighting the deadly epidemic with unprecedented force, top medical experts have unveiled a natural pain reliever that's revolutionizing pain management. 100% drug-free Conolidine. Unlike dangerous opioids that have fueled the crisis Trump is now tackling, Conolidine optimizes your body's natural painkillers, called endorphins, providing full body relief without harmful side effects or addiction risk. Over 100 million Americans, including UFC fighters, have already discovered its power. The safe, legal alternative has been proven effective through 14 years of clinical research. So why continue suffering when Trump is securing our borders and you can secure your pain relief? Try Conolidine for less than $1 a day through our special link, trycono.com/NNN. It's down below. It's linked in the description because you have nothing to lose but your pain. Okay, let's jump into this. We got a local news report. This is published by Illegal Alien Crimes 48 hours ago. A man accused of stabbing a high schooler. Oh, no. Oh, man. Oh boy. Here's the local report.
Dino Ponce has been. We are following a big arrest in a Tequila teenager's murder. So we first showed you this video when it happened on January 10th. Medics trying to save a teen's life after he was stabbed and then just left to die outside of an apartment complex in Tequila. Well, now an arrest has been made 2 states away in Utah. The FBI Safe Streets task force spearheading that manhunt and learned the suspect fled to Utah while officers there spotted 20-year-old Jose Antonio Cedino Ponce at a business in Utah County. They were able to arrest him there. According to court docs, Cedino Ponce drove to a spot in Tequila to fight with high schoolers and came armed with a knife. And during that fight, police say he stabbed and killed 16-year-old Alan Jailer. Now, Cedino Ponce has been charged with second-degree murder. He is still in Utah awaiting extradition. Meanwhile, the victim's family has set up a GoFundMe. You can find this on our website. We are following a big arrest in a...
Heartbreaking. Well, now he's on an immigration detainer hold. Here's another 24 hours ago. Man arrested for negligent homicide after suspected DUI crash, also on an immigration detainer hold.
The if a man suspected in a deadly drunken driving crash pays his $1.5 million bond, he will remain in jail. The 3-vehicle crash happened Thursday night around 10 in the 2100 block of East Matthews Avenue. Court documents said a vehicle driven by Arturo Chacon struck 2 separate vehicles while driving into oncoming traffic. One of the other drivers, Larry Traylor, died in the crash. Chacon faces a charge of negligent homicide, among other charges. The affidavit said Immigration Control Enforcement placed a no bond hold on Chacon. If a man,
these people should not even be in this country. I mean, what these 2 reports, local reports we just showed you, you're not going to see that on the national news ever, illustrate the destruction that Joe Biden's policies have unleashed on this nation that President Trump is trying to rein in. Thankfully, they have detainer holds now placed on them. Oh my goodness, we have more. 12 hours ago, Miami-Dade County, Florida, Venezuelan national and suspected Tren de Aragua member has been charged in federal court with possessing a firearm as an illegal alien. Look at this guy. Wow. Illegal alien possessing firearms, Tren de Aragua. Yeah. Get him out of here. Another one. Oh my goodness. What? This is Craighead County, Arkansas. Late last month, Arturo Chacon Montiel arrested for negligent homicide. This was the same report we just played for you, the local report. Here's another one. Pearl River County, Missouri, last month, Guo Huang arrested for false pretenses and disorderly conduct. He could face federal charges related to the case, also subject to deportation proceedings. Yeah, look at this guy. There's the mugshot right there. Unbelievable. Here's another one. 8 hours ago, Martin County, Florida, illegal alien and Chilean national Jean Stefano arrested in connection to a 2023 burglary connected to DNA samples left at the crime scene. And here he is doing his perp walk. Let's take a look at, it must be a local report. Look at that. Yeah, hide your head in shame, dude. Hide your head in shame. Yeah, time for you to go too. It doesn't stop. I mean, this list goes on and on. What else have we got here for you? More illegal alien crimes. Teton County, Wyoming. As of Wednesday, the Teton County Sheriff's Office will comply with all detainer requests made by Immigrations and Customs Enforcement instead of only those signed by a judge. Finally, we have these counties and these locales that are abiding by these detainer requests. President Biden, what was he doing? Just throw them out the window, release them back on the streets so they can unleash their terror campaigns upon the American people. President Trump clearly knows better. Collin County, Texas, in January, Hector Francisco arrested for burglary of a building, criminal mischief. He has an immigration detainer hold as well. Here's more. 3 hours ago, illegal alien crimes. Woman charged with vehicular homicide on immigration detainer hold. Another one. I mean, the list goes on. Listen, folks, these are local reports. You don't hear these on the national news. Fox News, CNN, MSNBC, none of them will play these, but you got to dig deeper into the local reports across the country to find out what's really happening. And thankfully, at least some of these local outlets are they're honest in presenting this fact. So let's check this out together. This is the local news.
Feet. Metro Police say 25-year-old Carla Guadalupe Armendariz is charged with vehicular homicide after she hit 65-year-old Charles Fountain and then just kept driving. Now, this happened Monday night on Old Hickory Boulevard near Firestone Parkway. Police say that Charles Fountain was an over-the-road truck driver who had parked his tractor trailer at the TA truck stop. He then decided to ride his electric scooter to a nearby Dollar General store, and he was headed back to the truck stop when police tell us he was hit by Guadalupe Armendariz, who was driving a Toyota pickup truck. And the truck, it dragged that scooter for more than 900 feet. And sometime later, a tip to Crime Stoppers helped police to find that pickup. It was parked at an apartment complex on Edmonton Pike. Guadalupe Armendariz admitted to drinking 6 beers and taking a prescription drug prior to that crash.
Yeah, straight to Gitmo for you, buddy. Straight to Gitmo, right there. Unbelievable. Here is, this looks like the mugshot of Guadalupe. And 7 hours ago, we have this. President Trump knows what he's doing. And this story from the New York Times is proof. Trump threats and Mexico's crackdown are hitting the Mexican cartel. Several cartel operatives said for the first time in years, they genuinely fear arrest or death at the hands of authorities. Criminal groups have not felt this level of pressure in such a long time. This is the New York Times publishing this. Criminal groups have not felt this level of pressure in such a long time, said Jamie Lopez, a security analyst based in Mexico City. In interviews, cartel operatives agreed. Some said they were selling off property and firing unessential personnel to make up for lost income from the dent in the fentanyl trade. Others said they were investing money in advanced equipment to detect American government drones, which the U.S. flew into Mexico during the Biden and Obama administrations as well. They continue. President Trump's strategy is working. The cartels are feeling the heat, but there's much more work left to do, and President Trump won't be satisfied until the deadly scourge of fentanyl into our country is eliminated once and for all. They say here Trump's established deadline, quote, we're seeing the results of everything we could have seen in years being done in a month. Mr. Lopez said the government is sending a message that when it really wants to, it can exert that kind of pressure. Well, where was Joe Biden like during all this? I mean, President Trump is really doing it. Here's Secretary Kristi Noem 13 hours ago. Since President Trump took office, USCG has interdicted 60,000 pounds of cocaine and other deadly drugs. Our men and women of the Coast Guard are on the front lines of the crisis. Look at her. There she is with the Coast Guard. Some amazing. Wow. Look at these pictures. Wow. Look at that. Yeah. This is what America First looks like in action, folks. We have more. Let's continue. This is also Alexa Henning. The Biden administration locked up just 8 out of 100 plus migrants with ties who crossed into the U.S. According to Tulsi Gabbard, because President Trump's leadership, we are now going to hunt down terror suspects and pick up the pieces left behind by the last administration. New York Post reporting that. Wow. Representative Brandon Gill asked Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson a damning series of questions that exposes exactly how left-wing he is and to what extent he supports illegal immigration. Oh boy, check this out. This was just published 11 hours ago.
I'll take that as a yes. I want to ask you a series of questions. If you could answer with a yes or no answer, that'd be great. First of all, do you support allowing illegal aliens to obtain driver's licenses? Just yes or no.
So the city of Chicago has been a welcoming city for over 40 years.
I'll take that as a yes.
Brandon Johnson, the city's been a welcoming city. Yeah, I'll take that as a yes. Okay, let's keep going. This is going to be good.
Next question.
And that's the policy that we will hold to.
Do you support tax dollars subsidizing or paying for the health care of illegal aliens?
I support investments in all residents of the people of Chicago, and that's what I do.
That's a yes as well. Do you support free or reduced college for illegal aliens?
Again, I support the investments of all residents of the people of Chicago.
Take that as a yes. Next question. Do you support allowing non-citizens?
Okay, now notice how Brandon Johnson is responding. He's calling the illegal aliens residents of Chicago. That's sort of his way around the law. But in fact, they're not residents. They're not even residents of this country. Okay, they are illegally here. So he's using that word as his loophole.
To vote in local elections.
Again, I'm not over the jurisdiction of that type of law, but again, I'm committed to investing in all residents of the people of Chicago.
I'll take that as a yes. I've got an article from the Chicago Sun-Times, and I'll quote here briefly. Johnson proposed, among other things, that all residents, regardless of citizenship status, be able to vote for Chicago Board of Education members. Next question. Your website states, and this is your campaign website, quote, I will not stop fighting until abortion access is completely secure for people all over the country, end quote. Yes or no, do you support taxpayer-funded abortions for illegal aliens?
I support the reproductive rights of all people, all women.
That is a yes as well. Your mayoral transition website mentioned support for creating a Chicago Board of Education non-citizen advisory board. Again, yes or no, do you support appointing non-citizens to government advisory boards?
I was invited here today to discuss welcoming cities.
Yes or no?
I was invited here to discuss welcoming cities.
This is a yes or no
If you're
question.
interested in asking me questions about the welcoming city, I'm happy to answer those questions.
No, we're going to move on. As you know, President Trump, unlike the previous administration, has taken serious action to bring foreign criminal gangs to justice, to take our border back and to restore public safety in our communities. He designated 8 transnational criminal organizations and cartels as foreign terrorist organizations. These are groups like Tren de Aragua, MS-13, Sinaloa, other of some of the most grotesque and ruthless and brutal organizations in the world. You, as mayor of a sanctuary city, have been virtually giving favors to illegal aliens. Apparently, you support an enormous amount of taxpayer resources going to them as well. But you yourself have also received a lot of gifts. And for those of you who don't know, Mayor Johnson has a secret gift room that is not given access to the public or for access to the Office of Inspector General. I'd like to ask you a couple questions about that. Do you know everyone who's given you a gift since you became mayor?
The city of Chicago has had a policy for 40
a
years
yes or no question.
where there are individuals that would like to give gifts to
I'm
the
reclaiming
city of
my
Chicago,
time. I'm going to take that as
and
a
we
no.
do not accept those
When
gifts.
did you
We
become
receive
mayor?
them on
No, I'm going to
behalf
reclaim my
of
time
the city
here.
of Chicago.
You're not going to filibuster here. When did you become mayor?
I was elected mayor of the city of Chicago in April of 2023, and I was sworn in May
That's good.
15th
On June
of
12th
2023.
On June 12th, 2023, you received Hugo Boss cufflinks and a personalized Mont Blanc pin. Do you know who gave you those?
So I did not receive those personally. The city of Chicago
You received those on behalf
and
of the
that's
city of
right, on behalf of the
Chicago.
city of Chicago, as
I
every
understand the
mayor
difference.
in the
Do you know
history of Chicago who has
Do you know who
provided
gave those
gifts
to the city of Chicago? Do you know who gave those to the city of Chicago?
So again, on behalf of the city of Chicago, there
It's
are
a yes
gifts
or no
that are
question.
received,
Do
but I
you?
do not
Do you-
accept. Those are not
So you
my
don't-
personal
so you
gifts.
don't know.
Those are the gifts of the city of
On March
Chicago,
18th,
and that's why you are aware
2024,
that they exist, because they're
reclaim
within the
my
law.
time here, sir. On March 18th, 2024, you received a Gucci tote bag. Do you know who gave you that? Gave the city of Chicago that?
Again, I was here and I was invited
I'll also
to
take that as
respond
no.
to the
On March
questions
19th,
around
2024,
welcoming
the
cities. I'm
city of
happy to answer
Chicago
any of those
received
questions.
A Vinci bag, a Kate Spade purse, and Carucci shoes. Do you know who gave the city of Chicago those?
Again, I was brought.
I'll
I
take
brought
that
my
as a no.
energy
I'm
here
reclaiming my
to
time
respond
here, sir. I
on
am
behalf of the
reclaiming
city
my
of
time.
Chicago.
I want to ask.
Oh man, Brandon Johnson. Oh man, what a joke he is to the city of Chicago, and clearly being exposed on the world stage right there in Congress. Wait, we have more. Illinois Congressman Darren LaHood versus Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson. Let's check this out.
Whether or not you agree with it, it's a
Let me
matter of whether
reclaim
it's a
my
fact.
time, because I thought you might do this. And when I hear your answer, no one in this room should be surprised that your approval rating is 6.6%. Now, that's not just me saying this. Newsweek article, the least popular politician in America is Brandon Johnson. So, recent poll, M3 Strategies conducted this February 20th to 21st, showed that Mayor Johnson has a 6.6% approval rating, the worst showing of any political figure in the country's history. So I know you're talking about crime is down and things are great and, you know, the city's flush with money. None of that is backed up by the people in the city of Chicago. And so I'm wondering why you continue to go down this path of failed policies, destruction to the city of Chicago, people fleeing, law enforcement at an all-time low. And I'm wondering if you have any remorse for that here today and can tell us why you continue to double down on these failed policies.
We've invested $1.25 billion in Chicago. In fact,
We've invested. Yeah, nice try, dude. You're a loser. Everyone in the world knows it. The least popular politician. Here we have a college student saying, "Our brains are tiny." What? Okay. Goofies of Chicago posting this. Brandon Johnson hired a law firm to prepare him for the congressional hearings, but it doesn't look like he's prepared at all. What's this?
1,648. Mayor Johnson, how about you? How many, according to my records, you have welcomed 51,648 illegal aliens to your sanctuary city. So I'd ask you, sanctuary from what?
if you're referring to the number of individuals that were bused from Governor Abbott without any coordination, the 52,000 individuals that were seeking asylum.
Oh yeah, he's blaming Governor Abbott. Oh my goodness, they bust him to us. Yeah, well, we had to. All right, he had to. He had to expose what Biden was doing by shipping them all up to Chicago and New York, so you guys would feel the pain he's feeling down in Texas. Yeah, let's see you try to deflect this one, Brandon.
Those individuals were bused to us. I passed a bus ordinance to work to coordinate with the governor of Texas. He refused to do that. But that transfer of individuals was the result of the governor of Texas, not the result of a welcoming city ordinance.
Welcoming city ordinance. So you're not welcoming these people that came here illegally?
The individuals that were bused to us from the border.
They were not welcome in Chicago? You didn't welcome them? You didn't provide them sanctuary?
So the welcoming city ordinance is pretty straightforward. It allows for our local law enforcement to focus on local policies, and that's why we're seeing a decline in violence.
So you don't care about federal law enforcement policies, only local policies?
We comply with all laws. What I do care about is this body, Washington, passing comprehensive immigration
So
reform.
let me ask you this. Chicago residents reported...
What I do care about is this federal body passing a law for comprehensive immigration reform. I mean, those are the buzzwords they like to throw about, right? Give me a break, dude.
28,443 violent crimes during 2024 alone. Cases of aggravated assault rising to the highest level in 2 decades. Now, also, state funds, $160 million were issued to illegal alien job assistance shelters in Chicago. You're the mayor of Chicago. Do you think that your residents or the residents of your state should be paying for that more than they should be paying for their own needs, their own roads, their own public safety? I mean, who elected you? The people that came illegally, whether they were sent to you or not, or the people that reside in Chicago? Who elected you? And who do you serve?
The people of Chicago elected me as the 57th mayor of the city of Chicago, and we serve all the residents of the city of Chicago.
Illegal or not, criminal or not. How many of the 662,566 illegal aliens with criminal histories that ICE has reported are now residing in Chicago?
Someone will have to get back with you with that number. I don't keep account of.
Do you take immigration information from criminals as they're arrested and processed? Do you take immigration information?
Our local law enforcement focuses on getting all violent individuals off the streets of Chicago.
Do you determine whether they're here legally? Mayor Johnson.
Oh, man.
How about you?
Mayor Johnson just getting roasted now. Listen, the national security implications of a secure border extend far beyond drug interdiction. Under the previous administration, over 100 migrants with terrorist ties were allowed to cross into the U.S., with only 8 currently in custody. So think about that. Potential terrorists roaming free in American communities while federal agencies were busy investigating parents at school board meetings. Trump's Department of National Intelligence, led by Tulsi Gabbard, is now going to hunt down the terror suspects and pick up the pieces left by the last administration. This is what serious leadership looks like. Acknowledging threats and acting decisively to neutralize them. So I'll ask you this, drop a comment. When did protecting American citizens from terrorists and deadly drugs become a partisan issue? Shouldn't every elected official prioritize the safety of the people that they represent? Stand with border security and real news by grabbing some merch and supporting our efforts at the Next News Network at shop.nextnewsnetwork.com.